When people talk, listen completely. Isn't there a comma missing there? I was innocently poking around on Wikiquote and I came across this tidbit. When people talk, listen completely. Most people never listen. Ernest Hemingway is quoted on Wikiquote, which at first I thought was some accidental editing mistake. Like any good wiki user, I started gearing up to fix it, especially when I noticed it used to have a comma in the history, but being the paranoid guy I am, I thought I'd confirm the quote independently. And I found these. This URL. This URL. This URL. All have no comma. Am I crazy thinking there should be a comma between talk and listen? Far be it from me to second guess the great Hemingway, but I think this is from an interview. So it could be this isn't his writing I'm questioning. It's his interviewers. Anyway, I'd just like to know if this is one of those subjective things that could go either way, and so should be left alone lest I start an edit war, or if this is objectively wrong and should be changed.
According to this article, this URL. One of the usages of comma is to prevent possible confusion or misreading, and I think this one needs a comma to prevent such thing, and you are right.
I did a quick search and these three came up with a comma. When people talk, listen completely. Most people never listen. This URL, this URL, this URL.
In writing, the comma is necessary between talk and listen because the phrase, when people talk, is a dependent adverbial clause. It depends on the independent clause, listen completely, consisting of the imperative, listen, and the adverb, completely, which forms a complete thought, or sentence. According to Purdue University, use commas after introductory A clauses, B phrases, or C words that come before the main clause. When the snow stops falling, we'll shovel the driveway. In speech, the speaker would indicate a comma by briefly pausing after saying the word talk, rather than immediately following it by the word listen, as though the two formed a compound word. By reciting each variation, the necessity of the comma will become obvious.
The quote's provenance, according to Wikiquote, is Ernest Hemingway, Letter of Advice to a Young Writer, reported in Malcolm Cowley, Mr. Papa, Life magazine, January 10, 1949, volume 26, no. 2, page 90. A longer version appears in Hemingway's Across the River and Into the Trees, 1967. I haven't been able to locate the magazine online, and as far as I can tell, the quote doesn't appear in ATR and ITT. If Cowley quotes the letter in Life but doesn't tell you where it was published, I'd withhold judgment about Hemingway's authorship. If there is a letter, especially a handwritten letter, then you wouldn't expect the punctuation to be rigorous. If the author left out the comma, those who quote the passage should do likewise. Punctuation is a matter of style, so there's no right or wrong answer. Most style guides will advise that a comma separate an introductory clause, especially if the leaving out the comma induces an impossible parse like talk listen.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.